Hello, everybody. Happy April 27th, 2020. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on today's show, we have a former Bristol Blue and current Uconn freshman Andrew Marrero, a right-handed pitcher. Marrero, thanks so much for being able to come on today.
Of course. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I was able to watch you play for probably about a little more than the second half of the season for the Blues, and that was, we'll get into that because that was a fantastic season for you and the rest of the team. But I want to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about you specifically. What got you into playing baseball?
When I was always little, my dad and we would always have a catch in the backyard. And then there was this at one point where both of my parents agreed on letting me play for the local league called Metro.
Mm-hmm.
And I started there since I was 4, didn't play T-ball,
Mm-hmm.
kind of got in with some of the older kids. And then after that, I just kept playing with them since I want to say 12. And I got some amazing opportunities to play with different travel teams, which helped me out a lot with exposure. And I'm here today.
You just somehow ended up playing for UConn.
Yeah.
Now, did you always pitch? And I'm assuming you didn't. I know it's a dumb question, but did you play? I'm assuming you played shortstop. Am I right?
Yeah, I played shortstop and second.
I figured just by the way, the body type and the way that your mechanics are pitching, you look like an athlete basically.
Yeah, I know I had a few phases where I was,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to laugh about this one. When I want to say 10 to 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
there was at a point where we needed a catcher, and I just put myself behind the plate. So I caught a little bit, and then, I was a key player. I played anywhere they needed me, so whatever helped the team. So
was catching the position you didn't like?
Yeah, so
I
much
kinda figured.
responsibility. So much responsibility. It was crazy.
Now you could see why Sam Loda and others on the Blues. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, so much
Legit
stress
dudes.
behind the plate.
But you found your home as on the mound. Were you always a kid who threw hard, or was that something that kind of progressed as you got older?
At one point, I was always like a kid that threw okay speed, and then at one point, when I started hitting the age of 12, that's when I actually started throwing a little harder than usual.
Mm-hmm.
After like a little bit of physical therapy, because I had an elbow problem, so then I took some time out, like for a whole summer, and then worked back into it. And I guess that helped a lot with conditioning my arm and getting it stronger. So,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's when I started noticing that I was throwing a little harder. And then high school came and started getting guns on me. And they were like, Marrero, you're actually throwing really hard for your age and your grade. And I was like, that's super crazy, because I would have never thought I was going to get up to that point.
You talk about how you didn't throw hard when you were younger, which I'm sure you probably did. You're just being modest, so it's okay. But were you somebody that believed in, the requisite, long toss, band work? I know weightlifting is a big part of your program too. Or were you somebody that kind of really didn't get into it until your later years?
I didn't really notice how important long toss was or
Mm-hmm.
band work till I want to say probably when I was like 15.
Okay.
To where I started extending it a little bit more. I was always one of the guys when I got to that age where either before a game I pitched or even when I went into shortstop or second, I would always try and lengthen out my arm and get it stronger. So I started noticing that helped out a lot with strengthening my arm. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I started really getting into it a lot more.
Did you always have that breaking ball? Because that slider is dirty. That when I tell you that was probably one of the top 3 pitches in what was then the FCBL for the Blues. It was a filthy pitch. That drop, that 2-plane break, man, it was unhittable when you were able to get it right.
Yeah, I know when I was at Metro, I had a few buddies that taught me how to throw a curveball.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one of my best friends, his father. He was always one of our coaches, and he was teaching me as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I was around like 12 or 13, and he was like, well, you got to develop another pitch just in case. And I know that I started to throw that pitch a lot more, and I developed a lot more with how it breaks and how I could control it. So I got a lot of help from most of my buddies from playing and all of that. So that helped out a lot.
Was there one pitcher in particular that kind of really helped you with that breaking ball?
I want to say one of our he's one of our buddies that passed away when he was 16,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a nasty curveball. I mean, his was ridiculous, and I've always had to face him at one point, and I just asked him at one day how do you throw your curveball? I mean, it's ridiculous. Can you teach me? I mean, I'm trying to be as good as a pitcher that I could be, and whatever helps the team. And he was like, yeah, I'll teach you, And then from there on, he took me under his wing and taught me a little bit more. And thanks to him, I have that pitch.
And, sadly, he passed away, and sorry to hear that. I did not know about that, but I would think, however far you get in your career, I'm sure he's going to be right behind you on the mound, maybe even in the stands, and you won't even know it, being able to watch every one of your games,
Yeah, I hope so. I know he's up there supporting every way that I'm going, so.
And I can only imagine what he was doing in your first appearance with the Blues. You came in second half of the season along with Garrett Coe, a former Uconn pitcher as well with you, and a close friend of yours. And the first two appearances, as you could predict for anybody, they were a struggle because the nerves and everything.
Oh yeah.
July 5th against the Bravehearts, you gave up 3 runs. July 7th, you gave up 2 runs. But before we get into your streak where you didn't give up any, just talk to me about those first 2 appearances and just, I'm sure, the energy and the emotion that you had.
Well, coming into the Blues, I was actually really excited because, I mean, I'm in my summer of starting freshman year of college.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it started. It was big time. So that's when I noticed where I was like, I need to turn on the Jets. It's a lot of competition in the league as well, and I need to show out because I need my spot on the team as well for Uconn and show them that I could do it against kids that are older than me. And basically, I went in with Garrett, and we were like, we need to do our job. And the first 2 appearances, I mean, it was a little shaky. I had some butterflies in my stomach where I was just super nervous. I mean, it's my first time facing college guys, so I just graduated high school, so it was just like a huge transition to where a lot of the guys from the Blues in the bullpen, they actually helped me out a lot with composing myself and actually helping me out with just staying calm and just doing my job as a pitcher.
Was there anybody in the bullpen in particular that really kind of helped you and nurture you through the process of, hey, you're a young kid, you're going to get through this, believe in your stuff?
There were a few of them. I know one of them was a kid I've known since I was little. We've always played against each other. Tommy Hughes.
Okay.
That's my boy.
Good curveball by him, by the way. Very good hook.
He's really good. Tim Pfaffenbickler, he also plays at Uconn. That's that guy. He's really taught me a lot, and he's always taken me under his wing as an older guy.
The best name in the FCBL, Pfaffenbickler.
Yeah, love that guy. And also Christian Seelhorst. He helped out a lot as well. He was always one of the really positive guys where he was telling me that I'm really young and I can do a lot of good things as of pitching for Uconn and how much he saw in me. So that helped out a lot.
Yeah, he's another player that I interviewed as well along with Coe prior to having you on, and he spoke highly of you, Mark Fiello. I mean, he spoke highly of a lot of Blues players because, as we know, a very talented team that made it within a game, 2 games actually, of winning the championship, and it's a shame that the Blues were not able to win it, but you did your part, from July 13th to August 7th, 6 2/3, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks. That's 5 appearances. What clicked for you at that point?
At that point, I literally just pulled myself to the side and I tried to just calm my nerves down, and I was like, you've pitched so many different games and so many difficult games. If you got through that, I think you could get through this as well. And it was just trying to play smart as well. I just tried to play a little bit more smart and to just take that into my hands of just not being nervous anymore and doing my job.
And having the ice in the veins that you did, hey, it showed. It showed because you did not show any sort of, nervousness or anything at that point. And you earned yourself a chance in what was probably at the time the biggest game of the Blues season, last game of the season, going up against North Shore. They win the game, they get the number 2 seed and the bye. You
Yes,
have a
sir.
chance in the 9th inning. I know you remember this well. I think we
Oh,
all
yeah.
do in Bristol. You had to get 3 outs. Talk to me about the time that you left the bullpen, you stepped on the mound, and then Loda put down the sign.
Oh, it was crazy. I literally felt all the pressure. I was like, this is the moment where I need to just bear down on myself and just go for it, and just listen to Sam. I mean, he does a great job behind the plate as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a great guy to have behind the plate. He literally just told me, don't worry about anything else. Play catch with me, and we'll be fine. You're doing great. You've done great, and just do your best that you can.
Marrero sends the Blues off just right.
And you were able to get the 3 outs. I never will forget when you were as hyped as I've seen you. I mean, you were always hyped, pitching in games, but you were hitting your glove, you were screaming, and I could tell you from experience of being able to see pitchers get big outs, that was probably one of the smoothest ways to be able to get outs in a big game like that. And as a broadcaster seeing it, I felt the energy from both you and the team, and it was great.
Yes, sir. I mean, I've always been one of those little firecrackers on the field.
Which isn't bad.
I've always been one of those that's always been talking, like not smack, but like always trying to keep up the team and just keeping everybody up. And I think after striking that guy out and having Sam block it and tag him, that was crazy. I mean, it was a moment to just remember, because Sam did his job. The guys on the team did their job on the field. All the pitchers did their job, and I was just happy that I was one of those guys that could have closed those games out and that they trusted in me so much.
And you had an opportunity again to face North Shore, this time in the playoffs. Game 2, a game that the Blues were down. I was watching this game, and I was sick to my stomach in the beginning. They were down 6-0 through 4, but then the Blues scored 6 in the 7th and then 3 in the 8th. When did you know, or did you have a feeling that after the Blues scored 6 in the 7th that maybe you have a chance to come in this game, because it was still there?
Yeah, I know. I had a few times where some of the guys were like, Andrew, just get ready just in case if we get up in this game where I'm pretty sure you're going to go in. Mm-hmm. So just get ready and get that arm ready and get that mindset ready. And then that's when I got the call from the coach to just get warmed up. And then that just happened, and all the guys just rooted me on.
Do you think the experience that you had in that last game against North Shore, just because it was a big game at the time, kind of allowed you to be even more calm in a game 2, again, an elimination game if the Blues lose, and if you win, you push it to a game 3. Do you think having that experience in the regular season allowed you to be more calm, but also keep an even keel?
Yes, I think it did help me to stay calm a little bit more and to just think about doing my job, playing catch, and it did teach me to be smarter with how I throw my pitches, where to locate it. So I know that helped out a lot with just keeping my energy up and just staying up the whole time when I was pitching.
And it showed, man. I mean, you had a fantastic year with the Blues. It was great to be able to watch you. Hopefully, if, you make the show, I can make the show for baseball as a broadcaster. I could see your game and say, hey, back in the day when this dude was playing for the Blues, I said he was going to be legit, and I called it before anybody.
Yes, sir.
But Marrero, thanks so much for being able to come on. I know you're busy with online schooling, and I know just being a kid basically, because you're still a kid, and I think people forget that. You still have a life to live, and I apologize about your freshman year and it being shortened, but hopefully no more of this. You could start fresh next year, both you and the team, and you can continue your success.
Yes, sir. Thank you a lot for the opportunity. I mean, it's an honor, and anytime you need an interview or whatever, I'm here. I'm always here. So if anything,
that, man. Seriously, you're welcome to come on. Any former Blue is always welcome on. Seriously, anytime.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
That'll wrap things up here on the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.